Hey Ringside crew, welcome to the internationally known Dudes at Ringside podcast. And now here's your host, Joe Panther III.
Hello there, wrestling fans, and welcome to another episode of the internationally known Dudes at Ringside podcast. You know, I throw this diamond up because I have a gentleman that's part of a stable you probably remember, a guy from Dynasty that came on earlier in this month of Tag Team Month. But now I have been told that now Dudes at Ringside podcast is affiliated with that awesome stable. Of course, because I have to be like the referee of the NWO. This podcast is now affiliated with Dynasty. Let's give a warm Dudes at Ringside welcome to one of their awesome members. Oh, man. Welcome, brother.
What up? Diamonds up. This is the Takedown King, Jaxon Roy. Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to be here, and thank you for the invite.
No problem, man. So, when did you get your start in the professional wrestling business?
Oh, it's a great question to start. So I started training in professional wrestling 2 weeks before the pandemic.
Oh my God.
2 weeks right before the pandemic. So I started my training at Battle Arts Academy. It's based out in Mississauga, Ontario, Canada. Like I said, I started 2 weeks before the pandemic. So I signed up to join the pro wrestling program. But unfortunately, 2 weeks later, it was the pandemic. So we shut down for, I guess it was like 6 months. And then we came back in July, and I started picking up back my training. So from there, I was continuously going to practice 4 days a week. I was training with our trainers back then, Nick Andrews, also known as Asylum, and Rob Silk Smooth. Those two are our main trainers back then. And yeah, like that's kind of always got my start in professional wrestling. I was a fan my whole life. I grew up watching WWE as well as NWA, TNA, Ring of Honor, Chikara. I grew up watching all those guys, and I just fell in love with professional wrestling.
Awesome. So who are some of the wrestlers that you saw and you were like, man, I want to be part of this world?
Oh yeah, it's great. So my favorite wrestler of all time is Booker T. He was actually the first wrestler I saw when I first tuned into professional wrestling. It was actually the segment. I think it was a commercial, but it was a segment where he put Stone Cold Steve Austin through the announcer table.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, I think this was during like the WCW Invasion storyline. So when I saw that, I was like, whoa, like, what is this? What is this guy, throwing this guy through a table? Like, I grew up watching a lot of cartoon fighting shows like Dragon Ball Z, Ninja Turtles, Power Rangers. But when I tuned into WWE, it just fascinated me because I was like, oh, these are like real guys fighting. Like, this is like, they're doing all these cool moves. So Booker T was one of the first people I saw who just my mind was blown away. Him, as well as Rob Van Dam with his innovative moveset, really intrigued me. Fellow Canadians like Edge and Chris Jericho are guys that I grew up watching. Eddie Guerrero, of course, just with his charisma. And then when you're going into like guys outside of WWE, AJ Styles at the time, Low Key, Senshi, Samoa Joe, like the NWA TNA era, where that was one of my favorite promotions of all time. TNA back in 2002, one of my favorite promotions. So those are just some of the guys that really like inspired me to get into this business.
Awesome. When you talk about Ring of Honor, did you ever get a chance to go to any of their shows? Because I got a chance to go to one of them before Tony Khan took over. Like, did you ever get a chance to go to any of those shows?
Unfortunately, no. But yeah, me and a couple of the guys that I trained with at Ballards did go to AEW when it came to Toronto, and but before and after the show, they would tape Ring of Honor. So that's kind of the closest I've ever got to going to a Ring of Honor show. But when it comes to like the back in the day Ring of Honor, unfortunately, no, I never attended one of their shows. So
It's like something else. I can't even explain how it felt to go to an actual Ring of Honor show. Like I went to two in New York City at the old ballroom, like
oh,
where
nice.
the old yeah, dude, the old where they did the old Monday Night Raw, like next door. They
Oh,
didn't do
that's sick.
yeah. They didn't really get a chance to do it in the I guess maybe because it was too big for the room that they were gonna do it in. But I was like, damn, oh man. But that room was lit, the one that they had it, and we were sitting in the balcony. And this is about the time when the Bullet Club was popular. And I think that's when Cody was there and the Young Bucks were still indie celebrities with the Bullet Club. That whole room was like it felt like the episode of The Simpsons when Homer is dressed like something and everybody's dressed like that too, and Homer's dressed
Yeah,
like I was like, I'm so glad my friend bought me a Bullet Club t-shirt. Everybody in the room was wearing Bullet Club shirts. It was like that episode when the NWO took over the whole room and all the fans were wearing NWO t-shirts, like 3 or 4 WCW fans. That's what it looked like.
wow,
It was hilarious. Like
just
for you, like in this business now, do you
yeah.
ever feel like you see these young kids coming in now and you feel like that you have to show them the ropes of what's going on now? Or do you think that they know more with the wrestling stuff or like that?
Um, so I'm 2 3 years into my professional wrestling journey, and with that little bit of experience, you tend to learn a lot depending on how like consistent you are. So we have had a couple of new students come in and out of Battle Arts Academy, and with that, I always had I just always wanted to help out in any type of way. I have a background in amateur wrestling, and with that, I've been the captain of the team. So I just have that kind of like personality or those kind of attributes to kind of help out, and help out the new guy, help out the next up and coming guy or girl. So when it comes to like giving advice, I always like to give out a helping hand because it can be a scary thing going into professional wrestling. It can be a scary thing going into a new school. You don't know anybody. It can be intimidating to like talk to the coaches or anything. So with that, I like to kind of like reach my hand out and tell the new students like, hey, if you have any questions, anything that you want to like know, and you any type of move that you want to like work on, feel free to ask me. Feel free to ask any of the other guys, but I just want to like extend my hand and just make sure that you're comfortable here because we're a brotherhood, we're a sisterhood. So yeah, I just always like think it's important that people who have experience to help out the next person on the on the up and coming, like,
So
on
like
the journey, in the journey.
yeah,
Sorry,
yeah, I get you, Big
mumbling my words already.
It's all right. We're having fun. We're doing this podcast thing. So, like, let's talk about when you go on the road. Do you guys like have to like travel in separate cars, or do you guys rent out a van when you guys travel? Because you're a stable, so you're not like. Are you guys traveling together, or do you like try to just get your schedule together to travel?
Yeah, so majority of the time when we're traveling, we're going out of the city. We mostly go together. One of us drives, or maybe two of us drive, or we just all like um, sub in or sub out. But majority of the time, we're all in the same car. Like we like to all ride together, share stories, have laughs, and just enjoy the time together. Enjoy the time to even get to know each other. The stable, the group dynasty, like we've known each other for a few years now, 3 4 5 years. um Sway and Derek knew each other prior to me and Mikey joining the gym. So they were really close. And me and Mikey just met about 2 3 years ago when we started training. So we kind of just already have a little bit of a bond. But when we're all in the same car together, that's when we kind of like become stronger, become more of a unit, because we're trying, or not we're trying, we're getting to know each other on a deeper level than wrestling. Like um, we try to like get to know each other like on the personal side of things, not just so much with professional wrestling. So when we're traveling together, we just make sure that we're all, we're all becoming a unit and just becoming more better friends with each other.
So, like, with your stable, do you guys ever think about like expanding, like adding a woman to the stable? Is it, or just like you're gonna add another guy? Like, is there any thoughts of any wrestlers that you've been looking at, like from the area that you shows?
Hmm. Yeah, we've been looking. We've been looking around for years. We always wanted a female in the group. That was kind of a thought we had in the beginning stages of starting
I
Dynasty.
know quite a few that I think would fit into your like your group. You ever hear
Yeah.
Miss Creed?
Sorry?
Katrina Creed?
Katrina Creed. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Out in IWS in Montreal. She's actually a really good friend of ours. We see her at IWS when we're out there. We recently just saw her at C4. She's doing her thing. She's killing it.
You
Hey,
need to tell her. Tell her Joe Panther the Third. I'm like the Paul Heyman. I'll speak for Miss Creed. I
yeah,
think you
yeah.
should add
She's
one.
doing.
One of your my reason why I think you guys need to add Miss Creed
Hey,
to
well, she's the
Dynasty.
IWS. She's the IWS Women's Champion right now. We're champions, so hey,
She would
maybe
add that.
about
She
it.
would add the a fight, and if she can't wrestle that night, she could be your heavy. She
Hey,
just
why
pops her in
not?
the mouth,
Yeah, why not? That's definitely something we can consider.
or
Did
maybe Danny Leo.
Danny Leo too. Yeah, like I've always said to Danny Leo when I see her, like I love her promos. Her promos are amazing. Just the way she speaks and delivers in her promos is just spectacular. So hey, if she wants to join Dynasty, get on the mic. Hey, we'll definitely
Former
be.
dudes at ringside guests, even though the episode Danny Leo did was a rivalry episode against Creed. So
Yeah, they're in a little bit of a
I'm trying to
rivalry.
get her to come on individually, but that woman is so
I don't.
busy.
I don't know. Yeah, they're busy. They're busy. I just saw Danny Leo attack Katrina Creed this past um, IWS event, so I don't know. They're kind of in a bit of rivalry, but
Or even
both of them are doing great. They're both phenomenal at what they do. But yeah, when it comes to like having females, that's something we always wanted to have in our group. And then even just another um, male wrestler as well. But for right now, it's just it's me and Mikey and Sway and D Smith, and we're doing our thing. We also Xavier Walker out in the states in the Detroit area, so he's doing his thing out there. But when he comes down to Canada, we mostly either we do either Mikey does a managing role with him, or we just we do promos with him or promo shots or whatever. So we have our crew right now, but definitely expanding is something that we've been thinking about.
I got one more. Either Jessica Black.
Okay.
Yeah, Jessica Black, and then like there's a guy. I'm trying to think. There's a few men that I've had in the podcast that may would fit in. I'm trying to think of their. I'll message you their names. But like Jessica Black is another one that she's like different. Her character's like very dark, but she's like
Yeah,
very good at her moves. Do you know who Jessica Black is?
I'm a little familiar, but I've heard of the name. I've heard of the name, but
Yeah.
I've got to see the face. But hey, like I said, having that dark twist that could work in Dynasty. Like Dynasty, we're a group where it's like, obviously we would like everyone to fit in, but if you can bring your own identity and mix it into what we're doing already, it just makes us even that much better and more, you know, more just different. We want to make sure that everyone in our group has their own identity and they can show that within the group. So.
Yeah. Like me, I'm adding my red glasses to the thing,
Hey, why not? Red
I could see I
glasses.
could see an alternate t-shirt like an NWO Bullet Club t-shirt.
Why
The
not?
line has red glasses on.
I see that you have a mask in the background. It actually reminds me. Back in the day, we were actually considering having like a luchador
Hmm.
a part of Dynasty. Like we were looking around to see, who wears masks around here on the Ontario indie scene?
There's a
Because that's
female, Maya. What's her name? Mia. Mia. Can't think of her name. It's Mia something. I know that, and she's a female wrestler, and she's a luchador. I think it's Maya. Where is it?
um,
There's Maya World from Texas. That's a female wrestler.
okay. Yeah, why not? Like, oh, okay, yeah. I think I've seen her before, but
Maya World.
yeah,
She's another good wrestler.
yeah,
She's young in this business, but I mean, she's so good at what she does. Like,
yeah.
and she knows she's good. Like, you know what I mean? It sounds arrogant to say this, but she knows she's good. She
That's
knows
good.
what she's doing.
That's good. It's confidence. It's
Yeah.
confidence, baby. You gotta have that confidence, that humble confidence to,
Yeah.
you know, keep
There
yourself
she is.
going and just making sure. Yeah, I've seen before. I've seen. There's
But her voice would have to she would have to dub her voice and make her voice not so high. She's high energy too. She's lots of
that's
energy.
good. I'm
I don't know
pretty
if
sure.
she'd go
Pretty sure
heel
her and
because the
Mikey would
kids
have
love
that
her.
battle.
Yeah. We can't be mean to the kids. No, we have to be mean to the kids. I can see Truth going, no, forget the kids.
Yep, yep. That would be something. That'd be
She
something to
gives
see.
him a sticker and he grabs the sticker out of their hand. No,
Telling you, that would be something. That would be something to see in a promo.
it's
Or
like Ric Flair and Vince when they were mad at each other for a while in that storyline.
yeah. Back in the day, yeah, that would that'd be very entertaining. I'm pretty sure they both have
She gives the
that
kid
type
a
of
balloon, he pops it when she walks away. Like, oh man. So,
exactly.
like, as we were talking about your stable, like, did you guys ever think about coming out of Canada and like coming to like the States? And if we did, what side would you start on? East Coast or West Coast?
Absolutely, that's something that we've been talking about for a long time, and that's something that we've been talking about just recently, just coming off of traveling to Pennsylvania, Philadelphia for WrestleMania weekend. When we went out there, we just saw so much American talent, so much good American talent. And it kind of just motivated us to be like, yeah, we need to get out. We need to go and travel. We need to get out into the States. When it comes to like location, we've been thinking about mostly going to the East Coast, that New York area. We would love to work on promotions like a House of Glory at HOG,
Mm.
just because like
The
it's
New York Wrestling Connection.
yeah, that yep is that too.
That's
And
in my blood. Those people have been NYWC was the very first indie promotion I ever attended when I lived
wow,
on Long Island.
yeah,
So
it's
they're deep in my they're the seed underneath the tree that you see the picture growing of my love of independent wrestling.
that is awesome. That is
They
awesome.
made me
I've
love
heard about
independent wrestling. They made me love it. Like,
they're a great promotion, honestly. That's something that we would love to like get in the mix of as well. Um but yeah, HOG is a great one just because we just recently wrestled the main event. Jay
oh, I
Line,
love those guys. They're awesome.
yeah, they're awesome. They're awesome. Jay Line and Midas, they're just great guys, and we connected with them, and like we saw them also at WrestleMania weekend in the HOG at the HOG event. So it's like that. Those guys are people who we would love to mix it up with back home where they are at, like in New York. So we'd love to mix it in there. Just go to East Coast, but West Coast as well. Um, just going out there and wrestling out in the West Coast would be amazing as well.
Do you guys have any? Do you have any like crazy like road stories?
Crazy road stories.
Nothing will get you in trouble.
No, nothing really crazy road stories. Just like just a lot of like laughs and just like what's the one? I remember this one the first time we went to Montreal. This was me and Mikey's first time going to Montreal. We were in the car with Sway Archer,
Mm.
and we got out of the car, and then as soon as we got out of the car, there was a woman asking if we can help her um open her window. Like it was those ladders that kind of you have to pull down,
Oh
like
yeah, yeah.
kind of like those type of ladders. So she was trying to get to her apartment, and she wanted us to she wanted Sway, because Sway's the tallest in the group, so she wanted Sway to reach up and pull down the ladder. And like, it was just funny because like she didn't speak English, and Sway doesn't speak a lick of English, or Sway didn't speak a lick of French. And she was just speaking French, and we were trying to understand her, and it was just like a funny thing because like she looked embarrassed, like she was like, oh my god, I'm trying to speak English but I can't. And it was a funny experience. Maybe not too funny, but I just always remember that because that was my first time like actually going to Montreal to wrestle. And I was like, wow, Montreal, like, you know, it's a really different, place where they speak French.
Yeah, it's so crazy because there's like so many French wrestlers out there, and like when you go to places, do you feel this? Do you guys feel the scene before you, like the day before, if you're traveling? Do you like go to the local areas where you think wrestling fans would be if you've never been there yet to check out who's who and what fans are what?
Um, so most of the time, like when we're like traveling to like I'd say like yeah like a Montreal, if we have a little bit time, like we'll go out and see the city, go out and just like whatever restaurants that was recommended. Like Sway knows more about Montreal, the Montreal area than we do. So if he has like a nice restaurant he would like to go to or have us check out, he would definitely fill us in. My sister actually lives in Montreal, so like she's sent over a couple of restaurants or places to check out. So yeah, like when we have time, we definitely go out and try to like explore the city. But um, if not, we just feel the vibe. Just walking to the arena or just walking to the venue. We just take in the vibe of the environment.
Hmm. Yeah, before we go, if my fans would like to pick up any merch, any T-shirts, any stickers, how can they find it?
Well, I'm wearing my own T-shirt. This is the Takedown Season T-shirt. Um, so this is my own T-shirt that I have on Pro Wrestling Tees. You can find that under Jaxon Roy, as well as you can find the Dynasty tees under Mikey Truth or Jaxon Roy, as well as Sway Archer's T-shirts. He just actually came out with a new T-shirt design recently, a Culture King t-shirts on the way. So definitely look out for that. But when it comes to merch, just you can hit me up on Instagram, and I'll definitely try getting that out to you. But or just see me at a show. We have shows out in Ontario right now where we're gonna be at, and we're gonna be at the merch table, and we'll be definitely selling our shirts there. Definitely selling new merch, or any stickers, 8x10s, all of that. We have all that being sold or being on display at shows.
Awesome. Before we go, if there was any kids that wanted to get in the wrestling business and they didn't know much, like what kind of advice would you have for them?
Oh man, it sounds cliche, but just go for it. Um, like I said earlier, like a lot of this can be scary. Going into a new environment, going to just try something new. But just to take that first step is sometimes all you need. I remember when I first started, even in amateur wrestling, I didn't know what I was getting myself into, because I just thought, I this was gonna lead me into professional wrestling. So I just knew that, like, okay, all I need to do is just take that step. And eventually, when I took that first step, I started doing it year after year after year. And then when I got into professional wrestling, it was also a scary thing as well, just because it's like you don't know anybody. It's a physical sport. It's a physical form of entertainment, so it can be hard on you. But if it's something that you really want to do, it's something that you're dedicated to, it's something that you're passionate about, all you can do is just try, give it your best shot, and you know, don't try to don't try to be so hard on yourself in the beginning where it's like, oh, why am I not getting it? Why is things being so hard? Why it's so hard for me to, progress? But everything happens in due time. A lot of this stuff especially in professional wrestling. It takes years. It takes years and years and years and years and years to get good at it. And there's no time, or there's no like perfecting it. It's you just go in there and you just do your best and just enjoy the journey. It's a journey. It's not a it's like it's a journey, you know, and you have to just enjoy it. It's not a sprint. It's a marathon.
Yep. I want to thank you so much for coming on the podcast. It really means a lot to me to have you. I'm saying this now. I'm going to wonk at you. I thank you for helping end Tag Team Month on the podcast. It really means a lot to have
I'm
another
ending Tag Team Month.
Yeah, you are ending
Awesome.
Tag Team Month. You're just this is the end. This is the last episode for Tag Team Month in May.
Tag Team Month, if I'm ending Tag Team Month, I have not shown you.
Oh wait, you got to show the awesome, delectable, awesome tag team titles.
The Tag Team Championships.
Oh yeah.
You know, we got the Destiny World Tag Team Championships on this shoulder. We got the Crossbody Tag Team Championships on this shoulder. So, what better way to end Tag Team Month than showing you some Tag Team Gold?
Yes. I want to thank you so much for coming on the podcast. I'm Joe Panther III. Your turn.
And I'm Jaxon Roy, the Takedown King. Takedown season, diamonds up. Thank you so much for having me.
And we will catch you in the next one. Show the belts.